Hey guys. First of all, I just wanted to thank everybody for all of their really kind, supportive comments after the last video. It was just very uplifting. I appreciate it. And I know I've heard from a lot of you the video uplifted you as well. So there was a lot of things that you guys mentioned that you liked about that video. And that's good because future videos are going to be very similar. Not necessarily just, B-roll with me kind of voicing over the speaking part, but kind of the more cinematic, the look of the video, the feel of the video. We're going to be doing that combined with these walking around, talking, getting work done, solving problems. But we're going to kind of mash those all together. So anyway, that's going to be, it's exciting for me as a creative person. Here's Nacho. Hey, bud. Hi, buddy. It's so funny. I don't know how many of you have seen Luna. You've seen Scar. We've had him the longest. Luna we got, I don't know, about a year ago. And then Nacho we've only had for a few months. Luna, I've had her in maybe a couple videos far off because she is very standoffish. She doesn't get anywhere near us. She runs when we look at her. But she is the best hunter. She's like hunting all the time. But she's taken a liking to Nacho. In fact, so much so that I was out here the other night sitting on the wall. I was just petting him. And Luna came up because I'd seen her down when Nacho was down here, and she was like rubbing herself on him and just, nuzzling up against him. But then when he was sitting next to me, I mean, normally she won't come near me. Like 20 feet is close for her. But she took the chance. This is how much love there is. She took the chance to come up, to risk life and limb, to come up while I was petting Nacho and rub against him and then jump away real quick so I couldn't, kill her. And then she'd come back and do it again. So I don't know. This one is kind of getting Scar and Luna a little more acquainted with me. I don't know that they'll ever, lose that feral streak where they're not going to come near me if Nacho's not involved. But anyway, it was nice. So I'm here in the vegetable garden. Last you were here, Joel and I were tearing out all the plants. And I've been trying to figure out, I have decided to get rid of all of the soil that's in the bed and start from scratch. I don't want to go through this whole process and then just have the weeds come back because I used the same soil. But I got to put this soil somewhere. And so I've been using this shovel here to kind of scoop through here where the bindweed was and pull out the pieces and toss them in the path. I tried it just in this one bed, but I'm going to go to all the beds that have the bindweed and do that. And then we'll probably just put the dirt in wheelbarrows and probably put it somewhere where Bill is going to be dumping a lot of other dirt on top of it. So, hopefully if there's any roots left, they'll get suffocated. That's the plan anyway. The next thing I got to figure out is the order in which I need to take these beds out so they're not in the way for when I'm putting them back in. I think the beds down here at the bottom that are covered in Bermuda. Look at this. I must have missed a row of garlic because there's a whole row of garlic coming up that I didn't plant. Anyway, ADHD, right, Nacho? Anyway, so I think this is going to be the last spot that I tackle. So I'm probably going to get the dirt out of these beds here and then reshape, cut a half a foot off of each widthwise and put them in here. Bring those up. That's way too much detail. I'm basically going to do this first and then the middle one. Then we're going to take the top one out and put it down here. Of course, these beds will have to be moved as well. Anyway, I don't know that the order matters too much. The bottom line is I've decided down here to actually The beds that I put along this wall, which will be the tomato beds that are up there, they're going to go along this wall. There's not going to be getting rid of this Bermuda. It's just, it would take too much Roundup. It would take too long to solarize it with plastic. So what I've decided to do is make this whole area right here gravel, except for the beds. And I'm going to build those beds up to 24 inches tall and have weed cloth under them, which I don't like doing, but in this situation, it's got to be done. It's either that or Roundup. So it'll basically act like a raised bed that is on concrete or any other non-penetrable area. But that's the only way I can do that down here without some kind of major remediation that I don't want to get into. So I ended up getting the commercial grade weed fabric. So that should do well. I'm also going to be putting that weed fabric down the center paths of these beds, between the beds as well. So I don't have to worry about any more weeds in the paths, because that's typically where they'll start and they'll blow into the bed. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be working on this. I won't be doing any fall planting in these beds. There just won't be enough time. So the goal is to have everything ready for early spring, late winter, early spring planting. Somebody said, and I haven't looked it up yet, I probably should. Somebody in the comments said that bindweed will root 30 feet deep. I mean, I guess it's possible. I need to look that up, but I'm just having this thought right now. Should I put weed cloth under all the beds and all the paths in these terraces and never have to worry about the bindweed that's in there right now coming back up through the beds, and then I'd be back to square one? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. The reason why it's frowned upon when it comes to using weed cloth in general is that weed cloth keeps the environment in the soil from benefiting from the natural debris that rots on top of the ground and gets pulled into the soil by earthworms and all that. So when you have that barrier there, the soil underneath kind of dies out. Now, if I'm growing in raised beds and they're 12 inches deep at least, it doesn't really matter. So that point is kind of moot there. But it's something I'm considering when I'm looking around. I'm seeing little sprigs of Bermuda grass and little sprigs of bindweed growing up everywhere. Plus, if the root knot nematode went into the native soil under these beds, the weed cloth would stop that from coming back up into the new good soil. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I did not like using Roundup. I had to use Roundup I used Roundup to try to get rid of the bindweed. It didn't work. Now, somebody in the comments also said that there's the home gardener version of Roundup that you get at Home Depot and whatever else. And then if you go to a feed store or an agricultural store, they have kind of the more commercial grade Roundup that actually works. So, but I'd rather just not use any of that, even if I have to put weed cloth down over all of the terraces. So I told you, I think in the last video or video before last, that we were expecting a bunch of rain. We did get a good amount, not what they were predicting. We never do. But we did get probably 1.5 to 2 inches over all last week cumulatively. And so everything is still wet. Everything got really well watered. Couple of issues. The bananas are getting so big on a couple of these plants, and the weight of the water and the weight of the banana. We had two collapse and one almost collapse. This video is brought to you by Reolink. I've been using the Reolink security cameras for many months now. During that time, there hasn't been one hiccup. They work great. And the cool thing is, I've heard from many of you who have them and love them as well. Up until now, I've had all solar versions. They're practically plug and play, installing in 15 to 20 minutes. They're 4K, full color, they have night vision, they have great sound, they're motion activated, and at any time I can pull up on my phone, any camera, and see what's going on and hear what's going on. They also have SD cards in them, so I can pull up video from months ago. I just received this version from Reolink, which is a powered version, and it actually hooks into any wall electrical box like you would find for a porch light or an outdoor floodlight. In fact, this one's got 2 floodlights and 2 cameras that covers a 180-degree panoramic view. Even adjustable color temperature. So if you're more of like me and you like the warm white versus the cold white, you can choose that. You can also choose how you want these lights to work. They can be on all the time, they can do a dawn to dusk feature, or they can just be simply motion activated. And get this, they have an AI-enabled search on these cameras where you can just look for delivery guy wearing red, and it will pull up the video with the delivery guy wearing red. Between this new camera and all the others, we now have a full 360-degree protection on our house and property. It's a great time to take advantage of their lowest price of the year, their Black Friday sale, and I'm going to leave a link down below in the video description. So here, hold up by the ladder, this one almost collapsed. There is a little bit of a bend right here. Not too bad though, actually. So that's got this heavy bunch of bananas. Now this one though, that's held up by the trash can and the bucket, it collapsed. You can see right here. Now there is still water going through here, so I think the bananas will be okay, but only time will tell. Now I got to show you something. I just saw another one. This silk floss tree, the one with all of the spikes on the trunk, which a viewer from another country, tropical country, said they actually call this tree the monkey no climb tree because of those spikes. But this tree has been putting out a few blooms here and there, and I've only seen them from far away. And when the tree is more established, it's just a profusion of pink blooms all over the place, and it's beautiful. But when you look at each individual flower, take a look at this. This one's kind of closing up. I'm going to throw a video in here of one that I took the other day. It's a little bit better, but they're just beautiful. They almost are like a blend between an orchid and a hibiscus. But when the flower falls off, sometimes it will leave this little fruit, I guess you'd call it. Not edible as far as I know, but if you leave it to mature on the tree, it starts to dry. It looks like a big, large pear, but it starts to dry like a gourd. And when it pops open, there's a whole bunch of silky floss inside. Now, I've been told that where these grow natively, the tribes there will use that fluff to stuff their mattresses, pillows, that type of thing. So it's kind of cool. Look what we got here. Bella got her cone off. Huh, didn't you? Didn't you? Didn't you? Your ear's all better. Got the stitches out yesterday. The cone got to come off. Yes. And then right here we have the other collapsed banana tree that I still haven't fixed yet. Bella, come. All right. We've got some gopher activity out here in the pasture. I had a couple traps out, but didn't get them. A lot of activity over there. For the most part, this is the main place that the gophers come now because the cats don't come out here. So the cats take care of most of the gopher activity on the rest of the property, just not here. Look how tall these banana plants are. They got to be 20, 25 feet, maybe 30. So we are trying out a new GPS collar on Bella, letting her have run of the property, most of the property. So far, so good. So I think this coming week, we are going to be moving the elderly chickens out of the cottage and down into the hen house that I made down at the bottom of the pasture. She just heard me. Hey, chickie, chickie. I love having Bella back out here with me. Bella, come. She's learning right now her boundaries of where she can go and where she can't. So she's a little timid to go certain places at the moment. But she'll get there. I heard the 2 new roosters crowing this morning for the first time. Well, actually, I've heard the one, but the other one, it sounded like this. I didn't even know what it was at first. But it sounds like a very hoarse chicken or hoarse rooster crowing. Sounds painful. We had a bunch of wind with the rain, and the climbing rose that was up here on the gable came down and is laying all across here. And that's going to be a pain, literally, to figure out how to get that back up. I'm probably going to have to chop it way back in order to be able to maneuver that whole thing back up there. I put into the roof this metal wire. It's screwed in all the way up. I'm thinking whatever, and I don't remember what I used, but whatever I tied the rose on with this, probably broke. Ow! Ah. Pull the thorn out of my leg. It was probably just that green tie, because when I tied it up there, those were a lot smaller, and then all of a sudden it got a whole bunch of bulk to it. Weighed down by the rain, blown off by the wind. It just kind of didn't have a chance. So I'm going to have to put something a little bit better up there. And I received a lot of good feedback on my mailbox. I love projects like this. It's something that's so quick and easy, and yet it just adds so much life to the section. Bella. Oh. There's Nacho over there. He's holding his own. I don't know what's going to happen when we get closer. Hey, Nacho. Bella won't hurt you. Yeah, I know you don't like her too much anyway, though, right? Yeah. It's a standoff. Yeah, we got some hissing going. You guys are going to have to get used to each other. You can see, I mean, as a guardian dog, Bella really doesn't go after little animals, right? My mother-in-law got a new Christmas tree, and so we took the old one, and we're going to put this in the cottage garden for Christmas. It's so funny. Nacho won't run. Good girl, Bella. Good girl. Good girl. It's okay, Nacho. She's not gonna hurt you. It's okay. I know, it's okay. It's okay. Nacho's holding his ground, though. No, we're not gonna bark. Scar and Nacho hang out on the deck most times. At least they sleep there. And so when I was setting up the collar, and I'm going to review this collar once I get some more experience with it, but I actually made the deck an off-limits area for Bella, so she can't go up there and kind of disrupt their... Hey, I just saw Luna. There she goes. Bella! Bella! Get over here! No. No. We do not do that. All right, well, so much for seeing Luna. Oh, she was snacking on a nice chubby mouse. Or gopher. What is that? I'll refrain from showing you, but she's the workhorse around here in terms of mousing. Oh, here comes Luna. There she is. Anyway, you guys, I hope this wasn't a boring video for you. We didn't have any projects going on during this video. But I just wanted to, again, thank you for your response to the last video and just kind of walk you around and give you an update on what's going on here, what the plans are. We're down now into the cooler weather, I think, for good. So it's gonna be a lot of time to work outside and get things done without having to worry about heat. So I'm always excited for this time of year. Yes, it's, you know, Thanksgiving. It's in 2 days, which is like one of my favorite holidays because it's like the kickoff to my favorite season. I always say that Christmas isn't my favorite holiday. The Christmas season is, and Thanksgiving is the start of that. Once Christmas is here, then it's all over. So I don't know, that may be weird, but Thanksgiving to me is just kind of like, you know, yeah, the kickoff to all of the fun that we have through the rest of the year. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys next time.